So hi, I'm Vicky Reddington, and I'm so pleased that we are here, and thanks guys for taking the time today. So I used to be a resident in Handforth, and why I'm so interested in this is twofold. One, I saw Cynthia on Good Morning Britain and Piers Morgan and not being able to get the points across that I'm sure, Cynthia, you wanted to get across. But also the company that I work at now, the Amplified Group, our job is about helping tech organisations execute faster. And what I mean by that is helping teams work together more effectively to get the right things done. And so seeing the way that the meeting went, you know, I've worked for two global tech companies, and if I'd have behaved like that in a meeting, I'd have been dragged out of the company, you know, my feet wouldn't have touched the ground. So with that, we've just got a few questions to try and get to the bottom of this. We're going to take about 10 minutes. So if we can start with Sue, can you tell us about the role of the parish council, and also why the election of the parish councillors is something that the local community should take seriously?
Yes, of course. The parish council is the first tier of local government. And the idea, of course, is that we are closer to the community. We know what people want. And in being close to the community, we can therefore, with the budget, which John will explain about a bit later on, we can deliver to our community the kind of things that they want. We can support local charitable groups, and we can do things within the village that the residents want. It's not about what parish councillors want, it's about what the residents want.
And has it got anything to do with the church?
Not at all. It has nothing whatsoever. And thank you for prompting me on that one, because yes, people do get it mixed up with the church, and it isn't. It's an entirely separate body. We're made up of 7 councillors that represent the north, south and west wards, and we are there to deliver the money that we're given back from the Cheshire East and use for good things in our community.
And it's not an insignificant amount of money either, is it, Sue?
It's not an insignificant amount of money. It's £85,000 a year. So it's quite a considerable amount of money, and we can do an awful lot of really good things. And that's why it's important that the people who are on the council can work together as a team, pull together and deliver all the things that we want to deliver. But it's got to be a team effort. It's not a one-man job or a two-man job. It's a team effort.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. And John, Sue's just spoken about the responsibility of the budget. Can you just tell us about the Handforth Garden Village and what this potentially means to your budget?
Well, the amount of the budget, as Sue mentioned, is £85,000 a year, which we divide up and give out to people who make applications, small groups, the scouts, schools, etc. There is such a thing as a community infrastructure levy, which comes out from any new development to sort of mitigate the effects that it has on the surrounding area where that development is being built. Now, the funds from the Handforth Garden Village, which hopefully are coming to Handforth Parish Council, quite significant and could even be in the region of £2 million, not instantly, but over a period of time. And that would be fantastic news for the village. And we will be responsible for administering that. And it's really now that the parish council should be getting together. And I know that Ashley's done some work on my behalf on the budget for things for the future, things without actually numbers next to them, but elements of the future that with a significant amount of money, as we're hoping for, these projects could go live. But everybody needs to be singing from the same hymn sheet so that we're actually developing and delivering for Handforth.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you know, Sue and John have both talked about getting the right people on the council, the parish council, Cynthia, and clearly something has broken down in Handforth. Can you just talk about what the process is for for agreeing how to work together and how you hold each other accountable. And actually, what is the process to support you if it does break down?
Unfortunately, there isn't a process if we break down. The only comeback we have is by putting in a complaint to the monitoring officer at Cheshire East, complaining about the code of conduct for those councillors. This is very time consuming, and obviously it's not good to be complaining about your fellow councillors. I would much more have preferred that we could have all sat round the table, aired our grievances together and come away as a team instead of two fractured parties. I know we have tried in the past. We went to training with Jackie Weaver. It was excellent training. John, Sue and I, the other four I deemed not to attend. So I feel that what we have to do is carry on with the work, try and work as a team, but still be able to have robust debate without being victimised or bullied.
Yeah, and so can you just explain why was Jackie Weaver actually involved in the meeting that went viral?
Yes, well, unfortunately, the clerk of the council had been suspended. The meeting was called by two councillors, and we were hoping that all the councillors would come. However, it was felt by all of us that in order to give you full time to the meeting, it would be better if you had somebody else clerking. A councillor can, of course, clerk a meeting, but it's quite difficult to clerk a meeting and take part in it at the same time. You know, writing things down, trying to remember, and therefore not particularly taking a full part in the meeting as you should do. And that was why Jackie was involved. And I would just like to say that Jackie is very well qualified. This point about Jackie being a member of the public with no qualifications is absolute rubbish. She has the same qualifications as our clerk, and her qualifications are with distinction. So I think that makes her more than qualified to have clerked our meeting.
And John, what happened with your clerk? I understand you've got, and also I understand you've got a meeting this week and he's actually back. So can you just give us the background on that?
There was a councillor who missed some meetings, and as a consequence, the 6-month rule applied. The councillor had not attended a meeting for 6 months. Ashley sent her a note just to say, look, sorry about this, but you've self-disqualified. And it's part of the law, it's statute law. And he then notified Cheshire East Democratic Services that there was a vacancy. They confirmed that there was a vacancy, but unfortunately, some councillors didn't go along with that. And as far as they were concerned, Ashley had sacked this person, and they took the decision to look into how they could get that decision reversed. They instructed Ashley to reverse it, to apologise to the person, to apologise to Handforth residents, and to tell the head of Democratic Services that there wasn't a vacancy. However, that's not possible. And unfortunately, the councillors who decided that it was possible have, they're the ones who suspended Ashley, with unfortunately no attention to employment law, disciplinary procedure at all. As far as they were concerned, if they voted it, therefore it was so. But that's not the case. No. And that's now been investigated at Cheshire East, and we're hopeful that there will be a quick resolution of that. Ashley, I'm happy to say, as we know, is back in his seat, and he will be in his normal position looking after the meeting on Wednesday evening.
Okay, thank you. I also understand that there is now a position vacant on the council that's advertised in Cheshire East as of today. Is that right?
That's correct. Cheshire East Democratic Services have issued a notification, not just about Handforth, but about all the other parish or town councils where there has been a vacancy, to say that, yes, there is a vacancy at these places and that there will be an election early in May to elect a replacement for all these parish councils, town councils that have a space on their council.
Super, thank you. And Cynthia, you were chair of the parish council before you had to step down. Just give us an idea of the types of things that can be achieved if everyone was working together.
Yes, I was made elected chair in 2015, and John Smith was elected vice chair. We had 2 young councillors, Kerry Sullivan and Kerry Burgess, and the 4 of us worked tirelessly together. We got a war memorial because we lost one of our own in Afghanistan, and his younger brother wanted a war memorial to celebrate his brother's life. It's wonderful. We have pantomime, we have planters in the village, we have the massive light switch on, and that's how Sue Moore got involved. She made the button. We advertised it as a competition. The one who the young child who actually made the poster, who got first place, and we didn't judge it. It was judged independently, and we had many hundreds of people turned up. We had stalls, we had music, and it was wonderful. Now all that changed in 2019 because there was 4 councillors that had the controlling vote. So a lot of the projects that we would have liked to have seen have all been put on the back burner, and unfortunately those councillors have concentrated on our parish clerk, and they've done no housekeeping, and it's very sad because we have got money in the budget. We are enthusiastic. We want to listen to the community of Handforth. And if you're open, honest and transparent, please feel free to come forward, because Handforth is a lovely place.
Brilliant, thank you. And yeah, I think one of the things that you said when we were doing the prep for this was the fact that very few people voted in the parish council election the last time round, and why it's so important that people come out and vote and get the right people onto the council in the first place. So maybe we can just finish with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We need a good social mix. I did say to Sue that it was a voluntary role but limited in time. She will now say, I have spent more time on this council investigating and researching. And fortunately enough, we do listen to the community, and we do want people to come forward and say, I'd like a go at standing for the council, and I would advise them to read the Good Council Guide, be open, honest and transparent, and volunteer to stand for election because they want to put something back into Handforth.